Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Going to be giving you the talking points from Manchester United's 3-1 win against West Ham. So one of the talking points was Dean Henderson making his first start in the Premier League. He obviously came in for David De Gea because David De Gea has got a knee injury. Dean Henderson did quite well. He made an early save. He made a good save to deny Aaron Cresswell from that free kick. And he also played a part in Paul Pogba's equaliser. Now, there has been quite a lot of Manchester United fans saying that Dean Henderson should now be our number one. It's the right time. At some point, I think he will be our number one. Dean Henderson has got that experience behind him because he endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield United. He also had loan spells with Stockport, Grimsby and Shrewsbury before. Dean Henderson's been part of the club for several years. We got him at the age of 14, and during the summer, he signed a 6-year contract with Man United worth £120,000 a week. Now, a few weeks ago, there was rumours of him going out on loan in January. But Solskjaer did say prior to the Istanbul Başakşehir game that, Dean Henderson wants to stay at Manchester United and he wants to play for the club. So yeah, another one of the talking points was Paul Pogba making his first start in the Premier League for over a month. And he also scored our equaliser. It was a fantastic strike from the edge of the box. Now, I thought Paul Pogba had a pretty good game. I like the way he kept the ball. Defensively, he was good. Now, Solskjaer is facing a big problem with Paul Pogba. Now, Paul Pogba has had a long-running transfer saga. Obviously, he's been relentlessly linked with a move to Real Madrid. Earlier on this season, he made an admission saying that one day his dream is to join Real Madrid. And last year, he said he wanted to leave Man United because he was seeking for a new challenge. There's obviously been rumours of him going back to Juventus, but I think for Juventus to get in, they'd have to offload a couple of their players as part of the deal. PSG and Barcelona have been in for him before. Now, yeah, there's still a good chance that Paul Pogba could leave next year, but Solskjaer did say, didn't he, a few weeks ago that he's backing Paul Pogba to improve. Now, Paul Pogba didn't start against PSG, but he did come on. But prior to the PSG game, he'd missed our last 3 games with an ankle injury. Ollie confirmed that that ankle injury was totally contrast to the one that he had last season. Earlier on this season, we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract and he wasn't happy with that. So he's under contract with Man United until 2022. There has been no talks though over getting him a long-term contract. But during the summer, Mini Raiola, Pogba's agent, came out and said that Pogba wanted to stay and they would hold talks over a new contract. As it stands at the moment, he is our most expensive signing because we paid £89 million for him. And this is his 5th season now at the football club since he rejoined. He has made over 100 appearances for Man United in all competitions. So far, he's won 3 trophies at the club. That was the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield. like updated you, Paul Pogba made a few comments during the international break. And reflect on these comments, he did receive quite a lot of criticism. But, he said like this season's been the most difficult period in his career. And he says playing for France is a breath of fresh air. And he's spoken about his Man United struggles this season. So there you go. Another one of the talking points was Ollie's super subs. I think when Rashford and Bruno Fernandez came on, it changed the complexion of the game completely. Obviously, Rashford came on, hit the post, should have scored that, but he did score our third goal. Rashford, I think, got given man of the match. Didn't only score and hit the post, also made some very, very good runs down that left-hand channel. Caused all sorts of problems to West Ham. And Rashford has really, really improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. He's enjoyed good games this season. He didn't start the game, Rashford, because obviously he was out with a shoulder problem. He's been at Man United now, though, for a good 15 years or so. He's been a United player since the age of 7, and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. Rashford is more effective out wide than he is centrally, so I think we need to keep him out wide. A couple of times recently we've put him on that right-hand side. He seldom plays there. Most of the time we put him on that left-hand side. And Bruno Fernandez, he came on, got the assist for Paul Pogba's equaliser. Fernandez has, made the difference in the team. I think that was the first time, by the way, that Paul Pogba didn't start for Man United. Since we signed him back in January. He's enjoyed nearly 12 months now at Man United. He's scored goals, he's provided assists. We paid, £47 million for him from Sporting Lisbon in January. He recently won Player of the Month for November. He's won that now quite a few times. Ole obviously brought Donny van der Beek off. And he took Edinson Cavani off. Solskjaer confirmed that Edinson Cavani sustained a muscle injury. Anthony Martial also got brought off in the game because he started. Anthony Martial has got a groin problem. I think really though Solskjaer should have kept Donny van der Beek on. So yeah, and another one of the talking points is that we have extended our away run. We have now won our last 9 away games in a row in the Premier League. We have not lost away from home in the Premier League since January. So yeah, they are the talking points from our 3-1 win against West Ham. We are now sitting 4th in the Premier League. And we have won our last 4 league games in a row. It was good to see us bounce back though from that 3-1 defeat to PSG. Like I mentioned on Match Reaction yesterday, for 60 minutes, West Ham were very, very dominant. They definitely dominated the first half. They kept the ball well. They showed good attacking intent. They was very good on the counter-attack. Pablo Fornals had good chances for them. He hit the side net and also hit the post. Jared Bowen, he had a goal disallowed. And I think he also had another chance in the game. Sebastian Haller, he also looked dangerous for West Ham. But they didn't convert their chances. Their goal came from Thomas Soucek. But West Ham, like I said, I've been informed because prior to the game yesterday, they'd won their last 3 games in the league. It was our first win at the London Stadium since 2017. But we had a good 15-20 minute period, didn't we? Because we scored them 3 goals in the space of, 13 minutes. Solskjaer's, impressed with our performance at West Ham. David Moyes said that the ball went out of play when Dean Henderson took that goal kick. Obviously, that was the build-up to Paul Pogba's equaliser. I think it was too tight to call whether it went out of play. Mason Greenwood, he also got his name on the score sheet. Mason Greenwood had a good game. Greenwood's goal was very, very good. I liked his first touch and it was a good half volley. And I haven't really had much of a perception on Mason Greenwood this season. It's because he's obviously had personal issues, he's had injuries, and he's obviously had illness. But he is the foreseeable future for Manchester United. Solskjaer's been defending him a lot this season. At the start of this season, we give Mason Greenwood that number 11 shirt. And he's under contract on Man United till 2023. And this is his second season in our senior squad. Alex Telles, he got the assist for Mason Greenwood's goal. Juan Mata, he got the assist for Marcus Rashford's goal because Juan Mata did come on in the game. Juan Mata, I think, enjoyed a very good career at Man United. He's enjoyed a good 6 years or so now at the football club. He's scored 50 goals for us in all competitions and he's made over 200 appearances in all competitions. We got him for £40 million from Chelsea back in 2014. My element of concern about Juan Mata is that he has lost that yard of pace. And he is now, 33 or 34 years of age. There was no Fred yesterday. Solskjaer's confirmed he's resting him for the game against Manchester City next week. Fred's obviously not available for the RB Leipzig game because he got sent off in our 3-1 defeat to PSG because he did receive 2 yellow cards. Facundo Pellistri. Now, as you all know, he's been playing for the reserves recently. And he recently trained with the first team. And there was reports coming out saying that he could have made his debut against West Ham, but obviously didn't happen. We paid £9 million for him from Penaril. The news on Amad Diallo Traore. He should be joining Manchester United in January. Ollie's hopeful that he will obtain a work permit so he can join the club in January. We got him for £19 million. Well, that's the initial fee we paid. But it could rise up to £37 million with add-ons included. So yeah, we've got a massive game on Tuesday against RB Leipzig. The preview will be probably coming up tonight. We need to either draw or beat RB Leipzig to qualify for the knockout stage of the Champions League. Now, we are away from home. It's at the Red Bull Arena Leipzig. And it's going to be tough. We beat RB Leipzig at Old Trafford 5-0. And obviously Marcus Rashford had scored a hat-trick. Became the second Man United player to score a hat-trick as a substitute. And the other goals came from Greenwood and Anthony Martial. But I think the game at RB Leipzig is going to be totally contrast to the one at Old Trafford. RB Leipzig have got one of the best young managers in the world in Julian Nagelsmann. Last season, they got to the Champions League semi-final, and they also finished third in the Bundesliga last season. And they've got some good attacking players, they've got that Danny Olmo, they've got that Emil Forsberg, they've got Yusuf Poulsen, they've got Christopher Nkunku. So yeah, and they've got Dayot Upamecano, who's a very, very good centre-half for them. Man United have obviously been linked with him. Marcel Sabitzer, they've also got him. RB Leipzig have got a few injuries though. They've got Klosterman out with injury at the moment. They've got Konrad Lehmann out with injury. They've got Hwang out with injury. They've got Hartman out with injury, and I think Henrich is out with injury, but maybe some of them will be available for the game on Tuesday for RB Leipzig. And we've got a big game next week against Manchester City in the Premier League. Will Solskjaer revert to a back three in that one? City have rejuvenated themselves recently. City have got one of the best managers in the world in Pep Guardiola. Won a lot of trophies in that during his, managerial career. Also won trophies as a player. At Manchester City, he's obviously won the Premier League twice. He's won the FA Cup, and I think he's won a few League Cups. Don't forget, Pep Guardiola became the first manager to register 100 points in one season. They won the domestic treble a few years ago, did Manchester City. So Pep Guardiola's been at City now for a good 4.5 years or something like that, and I think he has spent over £1 billion. That's including what he spent at Barcelona and Bayern Munich as well. But the vast majority of the money he spent has obviously been at Manchester City. Not so long ago, didn't he? Signing a new contract with Manchester City, Pep Guardiola. City did make some signings during the summer. They obviously brought Nathan Ake in, they brought Ferran Torres in, and they brought Ruben Diaz in, didn't they? They've obviously got other good players in the team. They've got Gabriel Jesus, one of their key players. Aguero, one of their key players. Raheem Sterling, one of their key players. They've obviously got Riyad Mahrez. They've got Bernardo Silva. They've got Kevin De Bruyne, regarded as one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. They've got Ilkay Gundogan. They've got quite a few centre-halves as well. They've obviously got Otamendi. They've got Fernandinho, I think. Is John Stones still there? Don't forget, Vincent Kompany left City. Was it a few years ago now? He went to be playing manager at Anderlecht. David Silva obviously left Manchester City. But we beat them 3 times out of the 4 times we played them last season. Don't forget. And after City, we do play Sheffield. Should be winning that game. Sheffield have only registered 1 point out of their first 10 games in the league. They're going down this season by the looks of things. And then we are at home to Leeds. So games are coming up thick and fast for Man United. But I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe for now. I still don't think, though, he's the long-term manager for Manchester United. And like I've said time and time again, I hope I'm proven wrong. Because you know how much I adore Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because he is a club legend. This is his second full season at Manchester United. And I did say, didn't I, this was always going to be a big season for him. I said, if we can guide us to a top 4 finish this season, and if we can win a trophy, that would represent a very, very good season for Man United. Then that would give us something to build on. Now, sometime this month, it's Solskjaer's 2-year anniversary at the club. Because he's been Manchester United manager now for almost 2 years. You know, he's under contract with Man United until 2022. I'm very sceptical that he will see out his contract. He's managed over 100 games as Manchester United manager in all competitions. Now, don't forget, Ed Woodward recently said that Manchester United will back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with a long-term plan centred around summer transfer windows. And Ed Woodward has come out quite a few times to show his support for Ole. And he does deserve more backing at the club, does Solskjaer, because during the summer transfer window, he wasn't backed enough. Because we missed out on all of his priority targets. You know, none of our managers have been backed enough by the board since Ferguson left. And this is the main explanation why the board's been one of the biggest problems at the club for several years. And obviously a lot of Man United fans have been demanding the board out. You know, obviously Woodward's been at Man United since 2012. You know, the Glazers have been at the football club since 2005. You know, Solskjaer did make a prediction recently ahead of the January transfer window, and he did say that he doesn't expect many ins or outs. So Ed Woodward's gone along with him on that aspect, and he's going to, you know, give him the backing that he needs in the summer transfer windows. So I think Solskjaer's happy with our current squad that we've got. I'm still hopeful, though, that we can make at least 1 or 2 signings in the January transfer window. There has been a lot of players on our agenda. You know, I think Man United need a centre-half and a right winger. They are the 2 priorities. So the players that have been on our agenda is obviously Sancho. He's been on our agenda. You know, I think we're going to go back in for him next year. You know, during the summer transfer window, he was our number 1 priority target, don't forget. The main explanation why we didn't get him, though, is because Dortmund said that they wanted 108 million for Sancho. We weren't willing to pay it. Ousmane Dembele, there has been reports in the last couple of weeks saying that we could go in for him in January. I suppose it's a cheaper solution than Sancho. There's reports been saying that we could go in for Erling Haaland next year. You know, we missed out on Erling Haaland back in January. I said it was a shame that we missed out on him because it would have been an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer type signing. You know, it's recently said that we've revived our interest in Jack Grealish. Eduardo Camavinga now, he's recently been on our agenda. There was reports recently saying that he's going to be available for around £45 million, but initially Rennes wanted around £70 million. He would be probably a good replacement for Paul Pogba. You know, there's been a few centre-halves on our agenda, like I mentioned. Dayot Upamecano's been on our agenda. A few weeks ago, it said David Carmo was on our agenda from Braga. You know, Dan Axel Zagadou, it said he was another centre-half on our agenda. But yeah, more signings are needed at Manchester United. We're also going to focus on the outgoings next year as well as the incomings. There's still deadwood at the football club that we need to get rid of. I think next year we'll be looking to get rid of Jesse Lingard. Now, there's been reports recently saying that Celtic and Rangers have been interested in Jesse Lingard. It also has now mentioned Villa are interested in him. Lingard did have it. He was injured earlier on this season. Don't forget, at one point he had to self-isolate, but I think he's now back. But Lingard doesn't regularly get in our team. You know, he lost his place in the team because he's too inconsistent. And there was a period where he didn't score 1 goal or an assist in the Premier League for over a year. I think his contract expires next year, Lingard, but I think there's an option to extend it for a further year. I'm expecting Jones to leave next year because Jones doesn't get in our team. He's obviously out with injury at the moment, and he has been very, very inconsistent as Phil Jones since he came in. He's been with us since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. I think we'll get rid of Rojo. Rojo's never really established himself as a first team regular since he came in. We paid, was it around £16 million for him from Sporting Lisbon back in 2014. Sergio Romero, I'm expecting him to leave because he is now our third choice goalkeeper. Romero's always been our backup goalkeeper anyway. He's been at the club now for a good 5 years or so. We got him on a free from San Pandora back in 2015. During the summer transfer window, though, there was quite a few clubs in for Sergio Romero. I'm expecting Odion Ighalo to leave when his loan expires in January. Unless we extend his loan deal, Odion Ighalo's. Doesn't really get much in the team now, does he? We got Odion Ighalo on deadline day back in January to obviously get a cover up for Rashford, because at that point Marcus Rashford was out with a back injury. But to Ighalo's credit, he was our top goal scorer in the FA Cup last season. Daniel James could possibly go next year, or we could loan him out. Might not get rid of him permanently. He's lost his place in the team, Daniel James, and he has been out of form. But despite that, he said he still loves it at Manchester United. Leeds United were the ones that were in for him in the summer transfer window. Leeds inquired about getting him on loan. There were obviously rumours a few weeks ago of Brandon Williams going out on loan to Southampton in January, because he's now our third choice left back following the arrival of Alex Telles. But Williams did well last season. He played a lot of games last season, but Luke Shaw had a couple of periods out last season, didn't he? A lot of United fans are still expecting Paul Pogba to leave next year. Maybe Matic could leave next year as well, because Matic has lost his place in the team. The only reason Matic was playing recently is because Pogba wasn't available. This was before West Ham, and McTominay obviously sustained a knock. Matic has enjoyed a good 3 years or so at the club. We got him in a deal worth £40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. So there you go. Solskjaer recently came out and says that Manchester United can win the Premier League. And he did say, that the job is not too big for him. I don't think we'll win the Premier League this season. Ollie's also ruled out a title challenge. I think we'll win the league again at some point, but not for at least the next few years. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, so we haven't won it now for a good 8 years. Like I updated you the other week, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was asked about a new contract at Manchester United, and he basically came out and said that, a new contract is not his priority at the moment. He said his priority is leading the club to long-term success, and he did say that the team are going places under his management. Solskjaer thinks now more than halfway through his 3-year deal. When we gave him the job permanently in March last year, he signed a 3-year deal with Manchester United, didn't he? But what worries me about Solskjaer is his decision making. In a lot of games, he's been very tactically naive, but on the other side of things, he has been some games where he's showed tactical flexibility. That tactical flexibility has come a lot in the big games, hasn't it? You know what I mean? And our record against the top 6 sides last season was good, wasn't it? But I have taken positives from his tenure. Since he became Man United manager, he's made some good signings. He's spent over £200 million at the club, and he's enjoyed 4 transfer windows. He did well last season, in his first full season, because he guided us to 3 semi-finals, got us qualification for the Champions League, also got us third. I like the way he has promoted the youth. We've enjoyed some good periods under him. We've seen a lot of players depart the club since he got recommended in as well. So these positive to take, like I've said before, Solskjaer's inheriting a squad that is worth 700 or is it 800 odd £1,000,000. You know what I mean? So anyway guys, that's everything to update with today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.